And we're live. What's up, Alpha Strikers? Here we are again for another episode of Urxes and his Cere-Bros, or Urxes Cere-Bros. I can't think of the one I like. So, I have a couple awesome guests with me here. I have Brandon, as always, tried and true. And then we have a new guest, a new Cere-Bro, newly enlisted Pedro Rocha.
Hello, everybody.
All right, so this is the show, guys. Basically, what we're going to do first is go over our week in Heroclix. We're going to let the new guy go first. Pedro, what did you
Okay.
play? What did you do?
Well, actually, today we had the qualifiers for the. Well, first of all, hi everybody. Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure, big pleasure. Um, I live in Brazil. In case you guys don't know, it's easy by the accent, but I live here in São Paulo, in Brazil. And today we had our qualifiers for the state champ, the State of São Paulo Championship. We had the qualifiers today. It was 400 modern, so it was tough. It was 3 rounds of Swiss. I did manage to qualify, so I won't say I was first because that's arrogant, but I got really lucky. I played Queen Jet, Nighthawk, and Felix Faust, which is mainly get everything that's OP and throw it in 400 points and go for it. But and it worked really well. We had a Green Lantern, Nick Fury, Bucky Barnes for the sniping, so it was really cool. Faced some really crazy teams like Midnight Suns, which were hard to get, but Green Lantern performed amazing against it. The super rare, that take stealth away so you can hit them. Lex team that was really creative. The guy put the Element Man with the Rock of Eternity as a champ. They meld together really well. The guy becomes like a mini Hakim. Really cool. And then a crazy team with many Colossals and KC Flash, which was cool but a bit fragile. So it was that one was simpler, but really cool. So I still have a few headaches because they were all tough games. 400 Modern has everything you can imagine on it,
Oh yeah.
but that was it.
Right on, right on.
Like how many
And
Case Green Lantern and Jakeem teams did you see?
Not many, but it's gonna be increasing. I think people are still, at least in Brazil, a little bit. They like the idea of, like I said, Midnight Suns and Lex. They like the idea of unhittable teams a lot,
Mm.
because it gets you a little bit less worried about what the other guy is going to play. And it's also aggressive. One thing that I noticed in from all the videos I watch everybody playing, because I'm crazy, I watch all of them, is that Brazilian like to be a bit more aggressive, and so they're going quicker. So usually it's going to push for a style where 1-2 turns I'll be in your face trying to tilt you. So and the hittable teams are great for that. TK unhittable, boom, start calling people on your face. And Hakim is amazing, but to me, my personal view, I can be wrong. It's a bit more fragile to be aggressive with him, and you gain a lot more if you can manage to bring the guys in and then start invincible fluring everyone. Right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there were a lot of Jakeem GL teams at our venue, huh?
Oh, I'm just talking about I'm talking about I think 400 points. That's a strong team. Just giving Jakeem a 20 defense is always going to be rough.
It's
Yep.
very rough.
Somebody in the 9 range running shot is already rough to deal with.
Ugh. All right, Brandon, what did you play
Congrats,
this week?
Pedro. Congrats, Pedro. That's awesome
Thank
that you
you.
qualified.
Thank you. I'm
Um,
pretty stoked.
so it's almost been a week since I played. So I played on Sunday. I play on Sundays. I play. So we had he called it a street fight. It was just a modern limited, no higher point character than 75 points.
Sure.
Nice.
Some fun to build around. So I built an animal team.
Nice.
I went ahead and ran Chase Mikey, Chase Leo, Howard the Duck, Clarion.
Ooh, I'm excited to hear about Howard.
Yeah. Howard the Duck, Clarion, Chipmunk Hunk, and then I had a symbiote and gas canister.
Ooh, you're playing that symbiote you won. Look at you go.
First tournament back, of course. Yeah.
All right, tell us about it. What happened?
I went 2-1. First game, I went up against an Ecstatics team. Basically, Mikey got up there. He hit his flurry on Anarchist, and then basically I missed my attack. I missed my attack on the next person, and he was kind of out there, and he died the next turn. And then I got Leo out there and finished killing Anarchist, and then Leo died, and then um, Clarion and Tikal pretty much took everybody else out. His whole team. We basically traded off characters for a minute. It ended up coming down because he had Shifting Focus Deadpool also. So he had an X-Force team, sorry. Not Ecstatics. I had let him borrow my Prime Shifting Focus Deadpool. I was like, if you're gonna run that, you might as well run this with it, which is probably not smart.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But I took
You're
out
so
that
soft and gentle.
I took out that Deadpool with Tikal with a crit hit 6 blades.
Ouch.
Ooh.
And that was it. Basically, I kept him from running away because, I was able with Clarion, I was able to take Howard the Duck. I was like, can't use phasing teleport, sidestep Howard the Duck over there into his line of fire to where he couldn't run away with his 2 action tokens. Second game, I went up against Rick Jones. He's pretty tough.
Yep.
Rick Jones, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch. I got him. He basically beat me by 5 points and basically beat me by time. He also had Shifting Focus Deadpool also. So he just I basically had him set up for 2 attacks on Quicksilver, and he was on his last click, and I probably would have won that. But James took me on that one. And then third game, I played against the whole Ecstatics team. I ended up wiping out his team. He didn't kill anybody. But it was a overall good game. I went ahead and took home. Ended up taking one of the new Avengers Falcon OP prizes.
He's not too shabby. 50-point transport at least.
Oh yeah.
All right, to me then. So this week, for our local venue, we did 300-point Modern Age theme teams, no tactics. So it had to be a theme team. I built with the Avengers Assemble cap at 150 points, the Super Rare Spider-Man from Superior Foes, and the 50-point Iron Fist Luke Cage not duo. So they are really fun to play. Basically, I was able to daisy chain leaderships from the Captain America because he gives all the Avengers lower points invincible leadership. And basically, I'd roll 3 leaderships a turn, remove almost all my tokens. If I rolled a 6 in the lower guys, they pulled one off a cap. So he just kept going. However, my first game playing against Randall, he's been on our battle boxes before. You guys probably remember him from the Turtle boxes. And, well, I got a good old hit with an Ultra Heavy on Cable because he played X-Force, Dreadpool, Cable, and You Go Girl. Pretty sure that's all he played was those 3. And hit Cable for 6 down to 4 because of his invulnerability. And then Dreadpool, he picked, of course, Avengers and just kept shooting me every couple turns. And as I was beating him, at that point, I rolled 4 critical misses for the rest of the game on very vital rolls. 4.
How's that?
I know. And I even probbed one, used my theme team prob to reroll that one, and I still missed the attack.
It was meant to be.
It was bad. So, because I kept missing, basically Dreadpool just kept 12 attacking, 4 or 5 damaging me, whatever. He had probs for days. Killed all my figures. Lost out. Meh.
Tough break, man.
I know.
Critical misses are a bummer.
It gets better. Hold on. So round 2, because I scored 0 points, I got the bye. So I had to sit out once everyone else played for a while. So I was like, okay, I'll just hang out. And then third round, I played against Chris, who hasn't been on the show. Well, he was. He was on one of the Civil War boxes a while back. And he was playing the Deadpool core. He had Champion Pool, Hulk Pool, those together with an array of panels. You also use reflexes and ESD. I think those 2 panels are going to be really broken in the meta circuit with that. Because that's basically giving out the Pandora's box again, but with no resource.
What panels?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I played a home game with Champion Pool, and just basically he was really slow against a range team. He was like, yeah, you're going to get enhancement. And then I was just shooting him. And then other game, we were playing a close range team, like, oh, combat reflexes.
And since it was a more casual night at the what's it called? At the venue, we were able to put any map, and so the third map I picked, Danny the Street, because I knew Champion Pool was slow, even though he's giant, wasn't against me really fast, and he has a hard time with the buildings. So, and I'm like, Spider-Man, he moves all around, and Cap and Iron Fist, Luke Cage are like, we'll sidestep everywhere, it's okay. And so I fought him. I hit his Champion Pool for 6 damage again, because the Ultra Heavies, I'm going to miss those when they're gone. I'm so sad. And he was stuck on Flurry, so I whipped him up on top of the rooftop. He was webbed up there, stuck for like 4 turns. I'm like, yes, go webbing. and I tried to hit Hulk Pool a couple times. I rolled 2 more critical misses with both Cap and Iron Fist Luke Cage.
God.
I was like, are you serious, Dice? 2 more. I rolled 1 crit hit the entire night, and that's when I actually killed Hulk Pool with it, I think. So,
Cool.
Never killed Champion Pool. I ran away like a coward.
I can imagine. You don't want to be close to him and miss.
Well, here's the thing, okay? So, Captain America from Avengers Assemble, he's 150 points, right? We all know his dial's not that deep, and his values get pretty bad down dial.
Yeah.
But Hulk Pool, he's like 8 clicks deep, and he's only worth 125 points.
Yep.
If I killed just him and he killed Captain America, he would have won. I'm like, nope, I can't have that. I just ran because he was on Flurry and he couldn't move and attack. So time was called. I won.
Wise.
With like the lowest points ever.
And holding crit misses left and right, you better not, get the message and run away and be happy.
It was bad. It was so bad.
Man, sorry to hear that.
I think Champion Pool's going to get really nasty, though, whenever you put, like, Rock of Eternity on him or something like that. He can probably get really good.
Dude, that 19 defense he's got is just unreal. Like, I thought Casey's 20 was bad, but for some reason it's scarier to be next to him than Casey Green Lantern.
I think he does 4 damage. Like, he does 5 or 4 damage almost the whole
5 with Battle Fury.
5. Yeah. But I think that's the gist. I think that at least they were smart in his design. Maybe I'm going crazy, but I think they were smart in the design in the sense that he's really meant to have a mobility problem. You cannot equip Symbiote to give plasticity because he's a giant, or for you to get a ray of the size, you have to put a mix. There's an extra 70 points to put on a specific click to make him more viable. So you cannot TK him around like crazy. So and Battle Fury, so he can't be carried by someone bigger because they know there are Colossals all around. So I think they thought well to say, let's give something really powerful. But if people are smart and can play around it, you can get away. It's not an unescapable Red Sun, Wonder Woman, or whatever that 12 hypersonic, 7 damage, heavy object kind of in your face kind of guy.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be good going forward. I totally agree with you, man. Like the one hit, 1 turn kill is just not what the game should be in any sense. But it happens. Even with a 50-point figure, you might do 5 because that's what you're going to be looking at from now on with all super strength. It'll be 3 damage with 2 heavy. And possibly knockback because you can punch them off like rooftops and stuff into walls. So that extra 1 damage will be done a different way, which I think is fine. So that's our week in clicks, guys. Let's move along to the meat of this conversation. We got some rules articles to go over. Now, we're not going to go over them in detail. Once again, disclaimer, these are not finalized. These are what WizKids have put out. We are starting from rules article number 8, which is basically hypersonic speed and pulse wave. When I saw the article for these, I about lost it. I was like, oh no, what do they do to my powers? I love these 2. It wasn't that bad. So basically, with hypersonic, they are wording it where the character no longer can, they can pass through characters, not around anymore, which is kind of nice. They basically kind of like a pseudo flight, and without stopping, they must still break away. So let's see here. Okay, sorry. New power is breakaway +2. This means that no matter what move they do, sidestep, move action, they automatically get a +2 break, which we all thought should have been a thing regardless, right, guys?
Yep.
I think all those abilities should have static effects for
right?
all that stuff. Leap climb.
Yes.
I mean,
if leap climb ever became some kind of static, I'd just freak out. Anyways, it goes on to read power, half range, so that takes care of your range problem. Move over people, passenger 0. So whenever you use hypersonic, you can no longer carry people. In our last one, we talked about how cool it'd be for like Flash to carry around like Henry, and get the Empower because he drops him off now and stuff like that. That will
Nope.
not be a thing. No carrying at all when using hypersonic speed. Basically, you move, then make an attack, and then move up to your speed value minus number of squares you just moved. Basically saying, use your whole speed, move some of it, attack, and move the rest. That's the power. They've also basically taken away the ability to use object attack in this power, which is a big hit to some of us because we were hoping that the Flash JSA 35 pointer would get that extra +1 damage.
Yeah, with the everybody uses light one, right? Light
Yeah, with
object.
light.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, but I think of it this way: like he still kind of can. Nothing in the rules says you can't move, pick up one, end your movement there, and attack him with your 2, and then stay there, pray you don't get hit, and then use it the next turn. You could
Yep.
do that.
Yep. And I think that's the main reason why they took carry away, right? Because one thing that was not OP in hypersonics that if you're carrying a prop guy or a perplex or empower or whatever, you wouldn't be able to use it because it was in the limbo during the movement. Now, unless I read it wrong, you will be able to use it. Because, well, you would be able to use. You won't because you can't carry. So if you allowed, you would move, place the guard there. Now you stopped. Now you use the guy, get super powered hypersonic attack, and then if you're lucky, you move away with the guy as well.
Yep.
Yeah, like no, we're not gonna break the game, guys. It's okay.
Yeah. WizKids has literally put down the ban hammer and said, you know what? Stop it, guys. This is our game. Stop finding the loopholes.
Exactly.
So, it's basically much more cut and dry now. I like it a lot. The one thing this did nerf quite a bit was plasticity. It's no longer the end-all be-all power to stop hypersonicers because it no longer attacks in the middle of a movement.
Yep.
So basically, you move up, you punch them, and then you have to break away when you move away, which is kind of interesting now because now you have to think about every single hypersonic move you do, which could speed up or slow down the game depending on the person. So you're like, well, I get a +2. Anything but a 1, right? What's the risk I miss it? Do it, done. Okay, I'm good. If they have plasticity, however, they still get the whole -2 to yours, +2 to mine, so it evens out back to a 4, 5, or 6. So it's more risky to go punch someone near a plasticity piece, but it's no longer like, you stop, you're done. Sorry,
Yeah, it's just stupid.
I'm trying to go over the fact that's kind of a lame instance where it's like there was an end all be all power to this and you guys took it away. But we did lose the super strength option with the ultra heavies or heavies for that matter too. So it kind of weighs out, I think. It's going to be more of a chancy move, I think. So going over hypersonic speed, Pedro, what are your thoughts on this new change, real quick?
I like it. I like it. And if I can do a quick plug and give a shout out to Tom, we discussed this a little bit in our Married with Click community page when Drew Warren showed up to honor us. And I'm sure you will soon be there because you're already committed. So we're taking it. I think it's awesome. I think the WizKids is treading on carefully here. I think they want to remove the peaks and the valleys of the game, so you don't have nine alpha strikes or a crazy cancellations, and we're going to see this precision strike when we discuss. I don't want to jump the conversation, but I like it. I think it's normalizing. They have to be careful because if everything is the same and everybody hits everybody for the same 7 for 2 damage, this becomes boring and no one we want to play. So strategy needs to be capped, depth needs to be capped, but I think they're doing a good job so far. Plasticity was fully canceling ASS. I think it was too much for plasticity. ASS was allowing you to do everything and then some. I think it was also too much. So I think it's in a way that you can still get some advantage with hypersonic speed. You can still actually say, you know what, I wouldn't attack a plasticity guy because I would lose my attack, but actually I might be pissed off, want to get rid of it. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go there, stop and hit you, hoping that you die and, life will go on. So I like it. It gives you a bit more options and take the extremes from the game, and you can still do some stuff.
Fair. Good points, man. That's pretty solid. Brandon.
I'd love the change actually.
Yeah.
I love that it breaks plasticity. I think plasticity is strong against hypersonic speed, anyways.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay that you can get a base to somebody and attack, and then have to break away to keep on moving.
Yep.
So you still have a risk of staying there. I've always hated that rule that, hey, you come adjacent, oh, there's no attack because it happened during the movement. And I was like, well, that's just stupid.
Well, it was always for me like every single flash piece ever would gorilla fight you to death. They run in, bash you, and then run and go hide behind a wall. Now they have to think about, well, am I gonna have to breakaway roll? Let's try it. And a 1.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I'm staying here, guys.
Yeah, I love that. I love like their concept, like, hey, we're gonna move, and then you get the breakaway to keep on going. Like that's great. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still gonna have the same hypersonic people do their range, and then they'll be able to run away and stuff like that. But
Yeah, which is fine. But half range. You think the big one's gonna be like
yeah,
6 to 8's what's been the sweet spot in range right now. I've seen as low as 5s and 4s, of course. Like even poor
yeah,
Shazam from Casey Shazam only has 3. That big
Mhm.
2 is, 15 speed though. Not too
Yeah.
shabby.
Yeah, and I have no problem with them taking out the object in the attack. So I mean, that's always good. Um, and I like the static effect on the sidestep.
Yeah, that's totally.
Like,
if for whatever reason, if you had hypersonic and sidestep somehow, but yeah.
Quicksilver.
I think it has a component of some people complain a lot, and I think they're right because you have to try at least to please everybody. I think it brings more consistency to the role play or to the characterization of a character. It's like Flash, you're really quick unless only when you really concentrate on hyperspeeding. For all the other stuff you do, if you're not paying attention, then you're kind of slow, right? Oh, I forgot to be quick.
Oh, and now Grodd has me in his hand. I'm
Exactly.
stuck here.
Well, I went to sidestep, but I sidestep like a normal guy. Oh my god.
Oh goodness. All right. So the second part of this article was talking about pulse wave, which pulse wave didn't take much of a hit here. I thought it would change more, but the pulse wave now reads range, half your range, improved target sees to characters, and out of adjacency. So that kind of takes care of the close or range action thing. And other characters within range can't use powers or abilities for this action. Make a ranged target targeting all characters, at least one of which must be opposing within range line of fire using their printed defense values. So that fixes everything. And then that means a replacement too from outside the pulse wave radius, which is cool. And if more than one character is targeted, each hit character is dealt 1 damage instead of normal damage. So it's almost the exact same. I believe you can still one-shot pulse wave if you want to. It doesn't say you can't. So yeah.
There is one crazy thing though that Jeskill put on the chat, which I also heard read Paris Gordon commenting about, and I think they're both right. And unless I read it wrong, and them with me, but you're now gonna have two group of characters, and bear with me, the characters that are within the range of pulse wave that will have abilities cancelled and don't need line of fire for that. You just have to be in the range, and the characters that line of fire will be drawn to, and therefore will receive the attack. If that's the right reading, you're gonna get some crazy stuff like the guy who's beside, the other side of the wall will have abilities cancelled, for instance, or the guy, which is normally Bizarro Arrow. Now, if it's pushing move there, but it's still within the site, or so you'll find some crazy shenanigan to use it, and he's in the area but not targeted, he's still gonna get abilities canceled.
Yeah. The ability no longer says that it draws lines of fire. It just makes basically a radius within the half of your range value.
Yeah.
Which is really good. Which that means, let's see here. It does say within range and line of fire.
But that's for the attack, right? Not for the canceling of the abilities.
Other within range, yeah, can't use powers or abilities.
Yeah.
Okay, so yep, that period,
Yep.
that's wow.
Two groups, right? It's gonna be crazy. You're gonna have to identify those within the range that gets power canceled, and those within the range and line of fire that gets hit.
Yep, that's pretty powerful.
Yep.
So yeah, that picks up some things for sure. And then of course
Yeah,
they
a
talked
guy's
about.
hiding with Prob behind the wall. He won't be hit wouldn't be hit because of the wall, and therefore would keep Prob. Now he won't if it's within range.
I get you. I get what you're saying. So the
Oh,
wall
yeah.
would come into effect, but not for the damage part of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, say if you have like Nick Fury with prob and you see through elevation, so you're out of the range or
Brilliant
you're out of the line
example.
of fire of the pulse wave, you can prob it. But now if he's in the range of the pulse wave, he can't prob it no matter what. He
Brilliant
won't be
example.
targeted with it, but yeah.
Good one, Brandon.
Brilliant. You nailed it. Exactly.
All
That's
right,
good.
and then of course they showed off the protected pulse wave, which is basically that protected key phrase that says you can't be, targeted or damaged by pulse wave, essentially. So we can watch for that. Okay, so that takes care of that one, guys. That was really quick. Thank you for those good examples. Hopefully everyone at home watching got all that. Thank you for being so helpful in the chat. Pedro,
Yeah.
thank you for being in there, checking them out. Appreciate you.
Cool.
Just a quick thing, guys, to go to the next one. If you guys have any questions, I don't want to miss them. So please just save them for the very end. And if I can catch them, I will. But I have to read the articles and manage this. So, yeah. So next one, Rules Article 9, which covers mind control. This one, in my honest opinion, hurt a little bit. It took down the potential of this power quite a bit, but it now essentially makes it to what I guess WizKids thinks it should be used for. So let's go over it real quick. It reads close range. So either or. Minimum range value 4. Make a close range attack instead of normal damage. A hit character halves speed and becomes friendly to your force, and in either order may move and or make an attack. Then it reverts forces. After resolutions, deal this character 1 feedback damage if all hit characters' total point value is 150 points or more. So they kept the basics of it. Essentially, you still take feedback damage if it's over 150 points. The switching thing takes effect, but now they have essentially given every character you mind control a move attack ability, but that's really all you can do with the powers. Either move them, attack with them, in either order. Both are one of those two things. No activating their free actions to do like outwit, prob, well, that's not an action, but perplex. You can't like make a bystander token anymore. That's crazy. That just takes away so much stuff it used to do. But there were so many rule questions, like if I make a pog, is it mine or theirs, and it goes back.
Yeah.
That was obviously what they're trying to avoid, I think.
Yeah.
Pedro, hit it up. What do we got?
That one's super quick. I think that this one is maybe the only one where they went a little bit too far, in my opinion, and played a little bit wrongfully with the depth of the game. Because I would be happy if they said they get either they don't get a move or attack, or you're limited to giving powers to do standard powers. Because sometimes you want to mind control someone because they have the penetrating psychic blast that you want to hit someone with, or
Yup.
you don't need the crazy shenanigans like I'm gonna get Devil Dinosaur and make 3 pogs, or get the Silver Centurion Golden Age and make a missile myself. You don't have to go
Oh,
for
the
that and
missiles.
say
Yeah.
it's all free game. But it's but what I meant, or even worse shenanigans like getting an Iron Man to get mind control friendly Silver Centurion again to do a second missile. That kind of stuff I'm fine with getting rid of. But to me, when you remove the use of standard power, sometimes you don't want the move attack. You want to use the exploit weakness or the penetrating psychic blast or something more strategical. Now, that one I think they normalized to a point where great, you're giving move and attack to those who didn't have it before. That's awesome, and we'll have some strategy of that. Maybe moving the guy away from you, and getting an attack on the other team. That's good, but that's pretty much it. And I think that we might suffer a little bit in terms of depth when you don't allow them to use at least standard powers. But other than that, I think it's cool. I think it's going to make it make it a bit more used. To be honest, there we don't see many mind controllers, so it is a loss, but it's not like they're changing charge or they're changing running shot. It's like the population that use mind control for real in the strategy is, well, with all due respect, a little limited.
Yeah. I totally agree with you, man. Like that was my biggest pet peeve is like I can also no longer use their Pensai against them. Like, oh, I didn't bring Pensai or exploit weakness. How am
Yep.
I going to get all those reducers? I'm kind of screwed now. I think I have outwit. Yeah, I think I packed that just in case. But it's nice to have the option. Brandon, take it away.
Well, the first thing I immediately thought when I read it was like, how many ways can mind control really break the game?
Uh,
But there's a lot of ways. I'm like, well, if I take an outwit, and I outwit one of your characters, does that outwit hold? And do you lose what you outwitted on my character?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was like, that's weird.
And that's what Whisker is trying to avoid. That thought right there, just
Exactly.
gone.
Now I'm
That
thinking, I'm like,
evil
ooh,
thought.
maybe I should try to use this before it's gone. See what happens.
Yeah.
I guess the change doesn't bother me that much. I think it makes people seem weaker, but it gives everybody the opportunity to get a move and attack if you use mind control. Which
Yeah.
sometimes you're stuck in a situation with mind control to where you can't get a move and attack off, and you just wasted an action. It feels like.
So that means. So what you're saying is, if you have friendly mind control, that could be a lot better too.
Friendly mind control, yeah, that would be so much better if you could friendly mind control. And if with these rules, friendly mind control would be nice.
So Doc Stanton will be MVP soon.
Yeah, I doubt it. I doubt it. I wish they probably would have worded it like, give this character half speed, and then maybe power, range, close, and that's it.
Yeah.
They could have just limited to that. But
Yep.
that way we can get like close action or range action or power action. No, that would have got rid of. I mean, really, you're worried about what perplex and outwit. Those are the only two things that are really gonna break what mind control possibly could do. And then no pogs, obviously. I guess you have to take power out then, huh?
It'd have to be
Or special
anything that activates a weird special power that's like outside standard abilities.
Yeah, I guess I think I probably would have worded it. I wish instead of just attack, I wish they would have worded it range like a range action or close action. Like
at least they'll
basically
still have
give me charge or running shot with an action.
Yeah.
Like precision strike will still be a thing you could use with it.
Yeah.
Or if they happen to have an object, I think you could still do that, right? With these new rules.
Yep.
Yeah.
Will be within the attack, right? You should.
Yeah, I believe object attack just comes off the attack, doesn't require an action of any kind. Pretty
If they have super strength and they don't have an object, can you pick up an object along the path? I would guess so.
Yeah, since you're moving, I don't see why not. Yeah. There you go. Think of it that way. Go pick up an object. Those things sit in my vault anyways.
I'm totally, like I said, I'm totally good with having a move and attack. Move and attack is never bad.
It's going to require a bit of play. Like, once we have these rules all down, we can all start playing with them for like a few weeks and see how we feel. It'll probably feel better. Just right now, it's a lot to take in. So
yeah,
probably where a lot of the things are coming from. That's all about that one. Pretty easy. Nothing too crazy. Next one up, rules 10. We have Invincible, Precision Strike, and Energy Explosion. Okay, so I like a lot of this one. This one, I'm really okay with. They didn't touch our baby. Sidestep, still good. So, thank you, WizKids.
True.
Empower.
Yet. They haven't touched it yet.
Empower, still the same thing. Good job, WizKids. It does the exact same it's done for years. Good job. Well, yeah, it's been years. Yep. Precision Strike. So, this one got a bit of a nerf, but I like it because now my Spider-Men are much more attuned to deal with these guys. Believe me, when Spider-Man came out and where the Precision Strike was a thing, I'm like, I hate this Spider-Man thing now because Super Senses is useless these days. But Precision Strike now reads, when this character attacks a single target, rolls to evade are decreased by 1, and damage taken can't be reduced below 1. So it still has that part where if you target one person, they can't take less than 1, so you're guaranteeing damage. That's nice. And then evade rolls, which is super senses, now has to succeed on a 6. At least I get a roll. It could happen. And then they of course changed to single target, which makes a lot more sense in my opinion. Whereas we think of like Hawkeye from Age of Ultron had the 3 bolts.
Yep.
Precision Strike, that was gnarly. That was so good.
Green Arrow from the Ali from the Trinity War.
Yeah,
all
those pick arrow, green arrows, both of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then no more Mastermind. It no longer affects Mastermind. So they've basically given another buff to Mastermind, having it's actually worth something.
Yep.
Well, Mastermind's changing altogether, so it kind of
But
makes.
not in a bad way though. It's
Yeah, no, in a
I
great
like it
way.
a lot.
Yeah.
So based on just Precision Strike, we'll start with this one. Pedro, real quick, how do you feel about the new change to it?
I like it a lot. It goes with kind of we were discussing a little bit earlier. I think other than Outwit, which you guys had the discussion, I have nothing to add on that.
Hmm.
Outwit is the big canceller of all things. So, I'm fine with having one power there because then you have to spend points and get a piece that has it. Having think plasticity fully canceling HSS or precision strike fully canceling other powers for free. You don't get it even the power actions just embedded in what you're doing. I think it was really overpowered and not only on meta but also on fun games. Like you said, you had your Spider-Man team, which I love playing, by the way. Especially the changes from the last set are so cool. And then you
Yeah.
feel, well, but if I have a team with Precision Strike, then it's not that fun. It's just like whatever. So I think it's really cool. I think it has a lot of things very teamed in the sense of getting a single target. You're not godly precision striking everywhere at once. So I think it's teamed, it's correct, and it's not, and it brings some balance to the power because I'm sure the figures were not being priced properly for what Precision Strike were in them. So I like it very much.
Oh, Pedro, I think I lost you mute here.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
There you go. Gotcha.
Yeah. In sum, I like it very much. I think it's now a good reasoning for the power. It has the proper measure for it. Really cool.
Right on. Brandon.
I like it. I mean, it just balances the game a little bit. I thought Precision Strike was a little overpowered, overbalancing. It doesn't seem like much, but targeting three people with invincible or not invincible,
Not
but three
invincible.
people with invulnerable, and like, well, I'm just gonna do one and one.
Or even toughness. Like, oh, you guys have toughness? That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
believe me, I didn't like Precision Strike when I had a lot of figures who had super senses. Cause all the old spider guys, all they have is super senses, and I'm like, oh good,
yeah,
you're nobody just attacks Spider-Man because he's a precision striker.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
other than it's I'm gonna miss Shocker. Shocker was so good. He was like built around stacking all three powers. If you could target three people.
Oh, I didn't
Nope.
even think about him.
But it's okay. I mean, it makes way more sense that if you're targeting one person, you're using precision strike, and then that way it doesn't blow up on energy explosion. Energy explosion, being able to precision strike, if you hit 5, 6 people with it, that's crazy.
Yeah,
It's like you're gonna do at
but
least one damage to everybody.
but they did mention in the article there'd be a few not corner cases. There'd be a few like special powers that allow multi-target precision strike, which
which
would be
which
I
which
think
should be
fun.
good. If we get a new
Because
Green Arrow, would make sense, or Hawkeye
yeah,
would
or
make sense, having a special
Bullseye makes
character where
perfect
they
sense for
can
that
do
too.
that. Yeah.
All right,
Um,
so moving right along here, our chat's getting ahead of us here. They're so impatient. Let's talk about Invincible, the other pink power that they were testing out. So I read this, and after I thought about it more and more, I love it. I am super excited about the new change to this power. So basically, it says reduce damage taken by 2. That's really great. It's basically invulnerable now. But it also can reduce penetrating damage. So there's the whole ignore, which they're getting rid of in the game completely. And it says take a maximum of 3 damage at once. And they showed a cool little chart that shows you basically as you go up, you would take 3 damage at the max anyways. The only thing that really changed with this is 5 damage became the sweet spot with this power, which makes a lot of sense with the way they're going with objects, how you will see 5 damage a lot more than 6 or 7, almost always, unless you have mad perplexers or something like that. So if you're going to attack an invincible guy who has invincible, just shoot for 5, and you're going to get that 3 straight through. That's pretty solid. But the reduced damage taken by 2 also helps you with 2 damage guys, which hurts those guys, honestly. And then it also says like precision strike. Going back to that, since it says reduce, and the new precision strike says damage can't be reduced below 1, it's not penetrating damage, so this still takes 1, from Precision Strike, which before Invincible didn't ever do that really because I always ignored.
Mhm.
So that's a good counterbalance to those two powers in my opinion. Brandon, what's your thoughts on these ones?
I like it. It doesn't feel like a huge change on Invincible, and I think the good outweighs the bad. I like that. I mean, say you have a character that only does 1 damage persistent strike, you can at least do it. I can't think of many out there, but it doesn't feel like it changes a lot. So I mean, it's good wording. I like it.
It's fair. Pedro?
I like it too. I think it's more again in line with the theme of the power. It doesn't say it reduces penetrating regardless, right? It's still it's now a super impervious, right? It can be fully reduced. It can be fully overtaken by psychic blast or exploit weakness, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those two powers can't hurt Invincible still.
Yeah.
Like they
So
can, but with
it's
more damage.
yeah.
It just feels like rewording. That's all it does.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not a big change. I do like the reduces too, because that makes Invincible feel a little more invincible. Because it was kind of lame when someone would go with a 2 damage flash, hit him for 1 damage because he's 35-point flash, and you have 19 defense with Superman. Really, Flash? You just punch this and hit me for 1? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, one thing I
So,
think is crazy, and then it's that looking backwards a little bit, and maybe I'm crazy of getting too
oh,
philosophical. I think a lot of the pieces were set up when they had Invincible or priced whatever to at least know that you at least last another click or be very close to your top clicks, and that would be some of the powers of the character. What I mean by that is you wouldn't go from top click to mid and end. You know that even if you're hit hard, you're gonna still be within your top clicks to last a little bit longer. Now you get penetrating. Well, it's not a big deal because now without it you could take away anyway whatever anything. So I think it goes in line with the changes that they're bringing, in which nobody is completely immune or above anything else. So in the end, I think if they were changing, sorry to digress, only Invincible, I would like it, but not that much. But in the context of all the changes they are making, I think it makes a ton of sense.
yeah. Oh yeah, and one guy said the 50-point Colossus has gotten a lot more survivability now too. I agree. Pedro, we're
Yep.
losing you again.
Oh my God, what's going on?
No, you're fine. I got you.
Okay,
All
don't let me
right.
go.
I got you, man. It's all good. I'm so
Cool.
happy you're here.
Bring it the webbing. Use the webbing.
Use the webbing. All right. So this next one, Mike had a bit of a rant at me when he first read this one, but after we talked about it, he was like, "Okay, it's fine." So Energy Explosion now reads range. So now it's its own range action, guys. This is big. No more comboing it with like Pensai or stuff like that, but you can still ride Precision Strike on it. So make a range attack targeting normally, and all other characters adjacent to an original target also become targets of the attack. Hit targets are dealt 2 damage instead of normal damage. So they went on to explain this, and it's a big, long article. If you guys haven't read it, I'm sure you guys all have, but check it out if you haven't. They were trying to test it with like the whole bolts because bolts wanted to be important, I guess, at some point. Now they're kind of just more targets. It's fine. It's good. And dividing was a pain in the butt to make the power explode the way you want it to. So now what they're saying is if you target a guy, everyone adjacent to the guy is also targeted. So this means I think I read somewhere that you couldn't shape change them anymore out of this, right? Guys, correct me.
Yep.
right. You you could never shape change off the splash damage, anyways.
No, you couldn't. But this basically makes you become the target right away, not giving you a chance to shape change at all, which is super powerful,
Yeah.
right? Okay, making sure I'm reading that right. And then you still can super senses though, because you can evade.
Yes, because
Yes.
if super sense is on the hit and not on the targeting.
Yeah.
Correct. So, guys, this is a super powerful attack power now because you think about shape change being a problem for you sometimes, or stealth being a problem for you sometimes, because with the crazy amount of improved targeting we're losing these days, stealth is becoming amazing again. Like it's just so
Yes.
good to have.
Yes.
And and you're like, well, how am I gonna get you? Oh, I see you put your koi boy next to your stealthy target. Let's go ahead and just target that guy. And so as long as your attack roll hits all the defenses, you're still doing 2 damage to everyone. And if you think about it, you do 2 to the main, 2 to everyone adjacent, you're going to deal anywhere from 2 damage upwards to, like, I don't know, 2, 4,
However many
6,
people you hit.
Yeah. Lots of people. And I like that it's a range action too, so it's kind of giving you the may to use it or not still, which I like. Because if your guys are up there, you don't want to energy explosion to them, right? So.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's my little rant. I like it. I think it's fine. I think it actually helps a lot of guys who have 1 bolt or low damage. Like, say if you have 1 damage energy explosion, you now have 2 damage guaranteed. Hurts the guys who have 3, but you're going to guarantee 2 to everyone. And if you have Precision Strike with it, which I can see a lot of it happening, I think Boom Boom has something with Energy Explosion and Pen Sight together, but it won't work as good, right? No, that's penetrating damage. It's penetrating damage, that's what she does. So that's way better than just the power itself. Okay, who wants to go first?
I'll let Brendan.
Bren.
I love the ability. It's gonna make a lot of characters with only single target energy explosions, which are out there.
Oh
There's
yeah,
a lot
lots of them.
there. It makes them all stronger. I like the fact that I don't have to think about how I want to deal damage. Like, it's automatically going to do 2. I don't have to worry about, oh, well, you need to roll your super sense before I divvy out damage and stuff like that. You know, I think overall it'll shorten the game just a little bit.
Yeah.
Taking that thought process out, and I think it makes it stronger. If I only have 3 damage on my dial, but I have 2 targets, I'm going to end up doing 2 and 2.
Yep.
You know, plus
also,
2 to everybody that got hit.
Also, I forgot to mention, this fixes the whole Mastermind splash thing as well, because it makes all the Mastermind targets targeted. So
yeah,
that helps that. All right, Pedro, what's your little rant on this one?
I think you guys covered everything nicely, so I'm gonna rant a little bit in a different direction. I think it's all great, but then they come out with this crazy. Have you guys seen the ruling on the hammer from the Deadpool X Forces? The guy
the guy with Quake?
No, the guy with I have it here somewhere. I'm gonna look for it. The guy who shoots at range, and when he does he can have range combat expert.
Hammer, the super rare. Yeah.
So they're taking away the massive energy explosion that destroys everything. They're making it into something that is powerful enough, as it should be, that it deserves its own action and not embedded as a combo. I love all of that. But then they allow Hammer to target a single target, and everyone adjacent contributes to the plus damage up to the maximum of the +3 rule, and everybody takes the 5 damage because we're adjacent to him. So why? Where's the connection? But I love the new power.
So they're saying that's a legal move now with him to do that.
Yes, you can increase range combat expert, single target the guy. Every guy who's adjacent and the target itself contributes 1 to the damage. He has a 2 printed, so it goes up to 5 maximum. And the hit guy, and if you hit everybody adjacent, every guy gets 5. You don't divvy up the 5. 5 for everybody.
Yeah, but
50
however,
points.
with Hammer, that's a power action for the RCE range.
Yep.
Energy will be a range action, so you couldn't combo it, right?
Yeah, but you won't need to. That's my point. So in terms of what we want to get rid of the area of attack that 5s everybody.
I get you. Sorry.
Yeah, it's consistent power rule wise. It's very nice, but game wise, it contradicts everything they were trying to get rid of.
Fair.
Wow.
So
Hammer
there's
was
that.
So good.
Shield ability, 50 points. The whole, just carry your pocket nuker.
If you guys out there watching on the chat, if you guys actually watch our ROC battles we just put out today, sorry we dropped 5 videos at once. Apologize for that, but they were all done and ready to go. One guy actually did play 2 hammers with Nick Fury and had an awesome day. Usually, only made top 8 because he was kind of new for him still, but that team was wonderful. When he played Mike, he was a little frustrated. But it's a good game. Check it out if you guys have time. Moving right along, getting on topic here. That's it for the pink powers. They've now, I believe all of them, Energy Explosion, have been set to where it's a little more balanced for everything, as you guys have said. All right. Last but not least, the power we all thought would never, ever, ever see a change. Prob control. What is this? Why? Explain to me why. But upon reading, fine, I get it. So, prob control has now become once per turn. You may reroll a target character's attack roll or breakaway roll. A targeted character must be within range and line of fire, minimum range value of 6. Basically, we were probbing too much stuff, guys. We used this power to reroll whatever the heck we wanted. And people loved and hated it, I guess, and always had a questions like, can I do that? Can I roll Faust D20? Doesn't say you can't. Gross. And then they fixed it to where prob only rolled D6s. It's like, good job, WizKids. Thank you for that. And they're going to have lots of powers that say reroll any roll, like the new Domino. She does that. Is the Fast Forces one at 75 points?
Yep. Once per
Yeah,
game,
so
yes.
she'll be powerful.
Mixie.
Oh, yeah, Mixie for sure. But I thought it kind of funny that in their play testing, everything they said was re-rolled was always attacks and breakaway rolls. Now, I agree with that. I do try to, prob almost all my rolls and a lot of my breakaway rolls because I want that breakaway. But there were also 3 other ones that were big for me: Blades, Claws, Fangs, Regeneration, and Support. Because how frustrating is it for you to take your time to do those actions? Like on regen, I'm going to take a power action to sit here and hopefully heal, and you roll a 1.
Gosh.
Well, he's dead.
Never mind.
or Blades, Claws, Fangs. I have a 3 printed. Should I roll Blades? I have a prob, sure. Oh, look at 1. Yeah, we're going to prob that. All right, 5. That's better. And that's just gone. It's gone. And support. I mean, okay. They did change support a little bit. It says here, power, choose a target adjacent from a character. If this character and target aren't adjacent to any opposing characters, roll 2d6. Same as always. However, add the result of this character's attack value, and if it's equal to or higher than target's defense value, roll a d6, and target's healed -2. Minimum 1, which is great. So they got rid of the whole printed values. You can now perplex these, get them up there, use defend. That's fine, well and good. But, oh man, this change to prob has me hurt right here a little bit. But,
a little bit.
But reading the article deeper, it is going to speed up the process of re-rolling your dice for everybody. Because you will now know off the top of your head when and what you can re-roll at any given time, which is nice. However, for a while,
when and what I could re-roll anyway.
Yeah, for a while, us veteran players are going to be like, I used to always on my turn be able to like, okay, never mind. I could re-roll yours, re-roll mine. You could never re-roll their shape change or super senses. Never mind.
Yeah, it's my roll's my turn, your roll's
I know.
I
get on a tangent here, and this is why Mike always rolls me back in, but he can't be here tonight, so we miss him. Anyways, Pedro, your thoughts on prob?
I liked it in the end. I think, again, for the sake of simplification in the context of everything else they were doing, I think we are all together to be blamed just a little bit, because I think that when they created Blade, let's take regen aside for a second, because regen should be half of a d6 like they have for the ha 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 Joker and for many. So
good.
The concept of having a d6 for the result exists. So we're not trying to create something new or reinventing the wheel. WizKids has it in their card. So use that. Use it for regen, and you're going to see a lot of people very happy. You don't have to regen 4. From 1 to 3, it's worth the gamble. If you get a 1, at least you got something. So I think that let's take that aside for a second. All the other ones were a gamble. Blade is meant to be a gamble, right? You have a printed damage of 2 or 3. Eventually, some characters had a 1, then it's an easy gamble, because staying at a 1, you're better off rolling anyway. So It was meant to be a kind of a gamble. I think that thematically for Wolverine and other guys in which they are very good and experts with the claws, rolling a 1 doesn't make much sense thematically. but it's meant to be to me a gamble. The moment you get a lot of probs, and we know you guys even better than I do because you have more time on this, you know how to sneak in a few props or a team. So the moment you get many probs on it, you kind of know that you're gonna get very high chances of making Tico lethal. So
Yeah.
it's that's where I think they're trying to stay away and say, prob is fine for blades in a fun game, but in the hands of your Pocos, Adam Friedman, Scott Crampton, Kevin Afruz, and we can keep calling names here. It's a different game, and then and it can be frustrating because you will be bladed for 6. It's a matter of time.
Yeah. And it's just gonna stick this time too, which is
Yeah.
Yeah,
cause, that's what I was gonna say. You can't prob their regen rolls or their blades rolls. That's what I was trying to say. Thank you, Pedro. So it's like,
yeah,
oh, you rolled a 6 in your regen. Prob that. I
Yeah.
yeah.
can't do it no more. Good job rolling that 6, buddy. Luck was on your side. All right, Brandon.
It's I have mixed emotions about it. There's moments I'm just gonna miss. I'm gonna miss rolling sixes on blades after rolling a one, but I'm not gonna miss rolling a six and being probbed into a one.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's no fun. I agree.
So it's both ways. I as I think about it more, because now you think about how they're gonna change team prob, and now with the lower point or standard game, 300 point, 400 point game, you might have up to 5 team probs.
Up to 5,
Um,
which is fine. There's gonna be rerolls. That's great.
but I think limiting some of the things you can reroll and having more abilities to reroll without even having prob on your team, it balances out a little bit.
yeah.
It's okay. I love Pedro's idea here of having the roll and regeneration roll. Why not, Whiz Kids? Why not? That's a great idea.
And it's
And what
there, and
is
it's
Mikeneto
written. You don't
do?
have to. You just copy and paste. Don't even have to bother writing the language. Copy and paste it.
Just put Pedro's stamp on
Please,
it.
please,
There you go.
please, Whiz Kids,
Thanks,
please.
Pedro.
No, it's there. Come
It'll be
on,
a
copy. I can even
great
claim the
idea.
idea for myself. They wrote it first. Just use it.
For
um,
sure.
yeah, overall, it works. I mean, it's still gonna be good. Blades is still gonna be good. Just like it always has been. I'm glad they didn't take the combo away. I can't believe they're thinking about taking charge blades away. Like that's just
Oh
weird.
no, I would have lost it.
Like we
I'd be
started
like,
reading the
nope.
articles, like we were trying this, but it just felt like blades was this, so we left it as a combo.
Dude, if Blades becomes a static, just like, oh, if you happen to be by me, I'm gonna now blade you.
Yeah,
Why? Why? That'd be so bad. That
yeah,
70-point Wolverine from Deadpool would just be so bad at that point.
yeah.
Yep.
Like, I'm gonna
I
sit here
just,
in a bush and wait for you to come at me. Then I'll
yeah.
blade you.
I wish when they talk about the reasons why they're doing this, oh, it's going to save so much time. I'm like, come on, like really? It's not going to save that much time. That
Basically,
can't be your reason why you changed it. But I mean, it's I like it's just straightforward. Hey, it's prob or it's basically breakaway or attacks. Might as well just made it attacks. Who cares about breakaway?
you know, this guy. Mike does this cheating maneuver where he loves to base me and be annoying, so I have to get away from him. So I will be okay with that. But I mean, all in all, am I still here? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All in all, these rules not set in stone. Still doing feedback from all the players. If you guys at home have any kind of input to make these powers more balanced, better in your opinion, write them. I'm sure they read them. They're probably very busy. I wish I knew who the beta testers were they have, but I'm sure they're all under an NDA. They can't say. They could be among us. We never know. You
Yeah.
know. So
They're watching the show.
Regen,
I told you they
half the
watch. I told you they
D6.
watch. Everybody email WizKids Pedro's idea because it is gold. It is great.
I mean, yeah.
Or
If is it regen? You said regen half a d6.
Yeah, like haha Joker heals. 33% chance of every one. 33 for one,
just
33
like
for two,
like
33 for two.
shifting how shifting focus Deadpool that
Yep.
got
Yep.
time
I mean,
Deadpool
that
heals.
cuts off your possibility to gain 4, but you could gain 3.
Yeah, but wouldn't you give up the chance to have 4 by knowing it's a 1, 2, 3?
Always
Up
one.
You at
5.
Yeah,
least
if
get
it's
one.
always one, if I can get at least one back, sure, that's fine. dials are short enough anyways. If I get 3 back, that's most of my dial in this new click.
Exactly. If you have such a long dial and you're way in the end, and 4 will make a difference, you're still in a very bad place.
Yeah, yeah. You're not
Yeah.
wrong, Pedro. All right, guys. Well, that covers the articles in full, what we think, ways to help the game. I honestly do see in the metagame it hopefully being faster. I'm sure they want the 45, 50-minute game in 300 points to have everyone have 10 turns or 7 turns, go up to like 15 turns. You know, if turns are flying by faster, less actions, less free shenanigans, less stop. Can I do this? That's what they're going for.
less,
I can see it happening.
less,
But
less taking 5 minutes to pick powers.
yes, and like I still want them to invoke the rule of pen and paper for those kind of things. Like if I'm
Yeah.
gonna pick powers, let me write them down, and my opponent can as well, so we both remember. When
Yep.
I was editing the ROC boxes at our venue, whenever someone played Jakeem or pick a power, you wouldn't believe how many times they forgot what they picked.
Yeah.
So I had to go
And
back
it
and
seems like you don't, but you probably do it a lot more than you actually perceive it, right?
yeah, yeah. Like you seem so sure that you picked this, but then you actually said that, and you guys both agreed. So it happens, and there's so much happening in a clicks game these days with all the things you gotta keep track of. You almost never remember little things like that. So I I really think the future of the game will be much more simplistic without getting rid of a lot of the strategy because you're going to have to play the powers a lot differently overall.
Yep.
So at this time, guys, if you guys have any questions in the chat, thank you all for watching. You can now ask them, and we'll all take the time to answer any questions you guys have for us. While we wait for those to come through, I'll watch the chat. Pedro, will you kind of second me there since you're in there watching that?
Yep. I think we have one from Game Nighter 777. He was asking first. He was mentioning his stepdad got him into Heroclix, and he glad because it's awesome. And I'm glad for you because I also think it's awesome. So your stepdad seems like a cool guy. Props for both of you. And he also asked what is our preferred character in the Deadpool set?
Our preferred character in the Deadpool set?
Yeah.
My stream must not be keeping up here because I don't see any of that.
Man.
But I'm gonna refresh real quick here. Anyways, let's see here. My personal favorite from the Deadpool X-Force set. That's really hard. Of the ones I've played, I gotta say Cable is probably my absolute favorite so far. Shifting
He's
focus
really good.
Deadpools are great and all, but I don't think I've played them enough to know their true potential. But that Cable, every time I field him, I just feel like indestructible. Like you can't touch this. You just can't.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. Brandon?
Man, that cable's rough, man. I was playing a game last night, and I was basically at champion pool. He was basically Strife and Cable, and it took out Strife on the first turn, and his Cable moved around and took out my entire freaking team for the rest of the game. I could not get him off his first click. It was nasty. Either way, though, my favorite character right now in Deadpool is Duke. Just at 35 points, I feel like dude, you'll hear it on the battle box, man. The power of Duke compels you, bro, man. And sometimes you roll it right when you need it.
Yeah, it's definitely our new mantra for dupe. So pass that around, guys, at your local venues. Say, hey, power of dupe compels you. We sure have been. So
Nice.
Oddly enough, just at 35 points, he's a little prob you can carry around, and man, if you roll the right dial, if you roll the right dice, roll the right number, you can totally screw your opponent over really bad. Basically, rearrange your whole freaking board and or whoever's within 4 squares, and you definitely find some line of fire then, I'll tell you that much.
For sure. Pedro, who's your favorite?
My favorite. It's a good question. I think that one that Not necessarily. My favorite's Colossus. I'm a big Colossus fan, so it doesn't matter if the piece is good or not. The sculpt is awesome. I'm likely never playing it other than for fun, but I don't care. But I think Fenris is going to show up a lot, and it is showing up already. So 11 attack, 4 damage, penetrating. If you don't have a Nighthawk Prime on your team, the twins are gonna bring the pain. So meta wise, I think Fenris is very cool. But I love Colossus, so for fun, no questions about it.
Colossus. That's a good looking
Yep.
sculpt too. Probably the
Yep.
coolest one we've had in a while. One thing I thought that was really really interesting and didn't even think of at first. You guys remember Chameleon from Superior Foes?
Yeah.
Yep.
He can pick Fenris, dude.
Yep.
That's insane.
Yep. It's
That's a
gonna
great disguise.
it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
Dude, he can pet Cower the Duck.
I know,
Yes.
right?
Yep. Sinister Syndicate's gonna be a thing again, and without going too crazy meta, have you guys seen Doctor Killer Brew? If you put Doctor Killer Brew to ride with Overdrive and
Oh,
Doc Ock, he increased damage dealt and not damage value.
Oh, that's
So your
right.
Doc Ock is gonna hit 4 times for 4. And if for only 35 points, and I'm guessing that your Doc Ock is gonna pick Speed Demons 11, or you're gonna perplex it once to
Wow.
get the effect. And then with the new outwit rules, you're gonna put him there, take whatever is away, whether they're incoming, and just 16 damage everybody.
That's awesome. I didn't even
Yep.
think about that.
no,
I
you're
forgot
talking
Dr. Kilbrew did that.
even think going forward with the new energy explosion, and you have him next to him. You just perplex up the attack. He's increasing damage dealt to everybody.
What?
Yep.
Wow. See, guys, these rules
Breaking
are like
the game
6
already.
months out and already breaking the
Breaking
Yeah.
game.
Yep. New changes incoming. Promise there wouldn't be anybody errat the next last one because of us.
I know, right? Which kids be like, way
What?
better change those powers again. Oh man. But yeah, let's see here. We have a question from Games Rule. That's Matt. What's up, Matt? Glad you're watching us, buddy. He says, what power did you want to see changed that wasn't changed? Pedro.
Oh,
Regen for the clicks.
I have to think about mine for a second, so you go first.
Yeah, I know. Other than regen, I don't think. I think the powers. I like the powers. I think they're balanced. I couldn't think of any particular one I think they've done a pretty good job. So I would stick to making defend a little. Sorry, regen. Sorry, not defend. Regen a little bit better.
yeah.
And that's pretty much it, to be honest.
Just making regen a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brandon.
I think I'd like to see more static effects on like sidestep and maybe like charge and running shot with leap climb and phasing teleport.
Okay.
I'd like them to take the move action out of leap climb and phasing teleport, and you just get those abilities whenever you're moving.
That would be a little busted. I could see every cable ever having that, but yeah.
That'd be cool.
But they have
But
to like make
other
it
than that,
specials though. You
I
have to
agree
think
with
of something
Pedro.
that would make them as they are. If you had the yellow power and speed, what else could it possibly do? You know, that's the hardest part.
No, I'm just talking about the people that have like traded leap climb and charge flurry, like Black Bat.
Oh, okay.
I love my Black Bat, man. Just give me some Battle Fury, Precision Strike, Charge Flurry,
Okay. All right.
and leap climb with it. That'd be great. I guess that'd be kind of broken.
A little.
A little bit.
Just a little. I think realistically though, I regen support. Pedro's idea is great. I love half the dice rolling it. That's awesome. That would be epic.
So mine is basically the reason why I picked mine is because Mike is so adamant about it, and I actually agree with him completely. Poison, they haven't changed it yet. It's still as is. Now, one example that I liked was the Harley Quinn from Flash. She has poison, but if she's only into one character, it's penetrating. I like that. If poison became that, and then it either was at the beginning of your turn or at the end of your turn, I'd be okay with it too. That way, because it's at the end of your turn, it would be, chance to outwit someone's defense first or something like that. Because when I visualize poison, okay, I'm thinking two things. One, you have a gaseous cloud around them, kind of like, say, the Joker could, or what's his name, Scarecrow with his fear gas. I could see that. I think some aerosolic poison. And so,
Yep.
how in the world could you possibly invulnerabilize that if it's in your system? So I like that. And then the other one would be like a needle, like someone's like that with like a needle point or what's it called, like a dart, like a
Mhm.
2 square dart would be kind of cool, but that's like Joker's Joker flower, and something like that. Those are the things I think about when poison. And I just want a way to give it poison without making it broken. So I feel if you're in the middle of a bunch of guys and you say poison, the people who have reducers, sure, they don't take it because they're immune, whatever. But if you're next to one person, it's one-on-one, I'm going to poison you somehow. I'm going to find that weak spot and go, ding, one. That's just me. Let's see here. I think that's all I have. You guys see any more? I haven't seen it come through here.
There's a tough one here. I have a Greythu from the Fear Itself set. This from Retro Gamer 9000. It's part of a Master of
Okay.
Evil team I built, but does not have a revert absorbing man or hammer. Is it still a good piece for my team?
I have to look at Great Thought again. That's been a bit. Hold on.
Yep. And his team.
Great
Let me
thought.
see here. It's the guy with the chain hammer from Fear itself.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Greethoff. I don't know how to pronounce that.
You got it pretty darn close.
I'm looking him up. I'm like, man, it's been so long since I've looked at Fear itself.
See, when stuff retires in the Golden Age, I don't just get rid of it. I put it in a long box and just keep it there.
Yeah.
On the off chance I want to play with it for some reason.
I overall, I would normally, especially Masters of Evil, I would play a modern Masters of Evil character over a Golden Age character all the time.
Maybe what's the guy's name? You guys played in Battle Box. Jesus, for escape me, Baron Zemo.
Baron
Zemo.
Zemo. Yeah.
Baron Zemo makes every Masters of Evil or Thunderbolts
Better.
team
So
way
much better.
Just +1 attack to everybody and sidestep
you
to
get sidestep.
everybody.
The free sidestep to everybody. It's godlike. It's like 100 points just there.
And you know what? This Greythoth, he has 2 point values. He's at 200 and 150. That's a really high point figure. Like, what kind of team are you playing on?
I was gonna say, you can give yourself a task or like Masters of Evil. Who else is Masters of Evil? Doc?
So he plays mostly leisure. That's fine, dude. This game is really, it's meant to be. They even said they want it to be casual kitchen table, which
Yeah.
it's fine. That should be a way for everyone to play it somehow, right? But I'm trying to think here. Even if you have a revert, honestly, if you can find a way to move him around, which Masters of Evil doesn't have a whole lot of TK off the top of my head I can think of, unfortunately, but playing the 150 with Baron Zemo giving him sidestep with that plasticity, for right now, that's really, really good because you're going to catch all the hypersonic pieces coming in if you fight those. Aside from that, I mean, let's see here. He gets to pick Impervious, Invincible, or Invulnerability.
That's not.
Wait, they had Invincible back then? In Fear itself? What?
Yeah. That's still after.
No, it's not.
That's after Wolverine the X-Men. Yeah.
According to this, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Wolverine the X-Men came out 8/21/2013. Fear itself came out 10/2/2013. No, I guess not. That could be wrong.
No, 5/15/2013. It came out before.
I don't know. I thought the Pink Powers came out with 10th anniversary, but
no, it was Wolverine the X-Men. That must be a misprint. I'll look into that later. I don't want to dwell on it too much. As a figure, though, that's totally fine. If you have the hammer too, that's cool because he drops it off to other people.
Yeah.
So that's neat. So
2013, the pink powers, but I have to look for the set, like you said, afterwards.
he says here 600-point team: Greythoth, Songbird, Boomerang, Puff Adder, Black Mamba, and Shocker. 600 points. He doesn't have the awesome Baron Zemo.
Yeah, you should definitely go for him. It's easy to
He's
No,
not too
no kidding. You,
expensive.
you can replace around it. It's not expensive either.
Yeah. Songbird has TK though, so good on you for having that TK.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Black
Songbird.
Mamba with her smoke cloud poison she does. Excellent. Let's see. Well, I think that's all, guys. It's pretty late here. I think we're gonna call it a wrap up for this evening. Thank you guys so much, Brandon and Pedro, for coming on. I know it's kind of a smaller group this evening. This actually, I want to announce this right now at the very end. I wish it was at the beginning. Ugh, terrible me. This actually might become our new day, but we're gonna probably do it every other Saturday from here on out. That way, you guys can kind of plan ahead and have that Saturday off. Is that cool with you guys?
Whatever you say.
Okay, because it'll be 7:30. Mikeneto should be joining us. He actually has evenings off now, so he can probably make this more often. But he's been spending a lot of time with the wife. Gotta give him that family time. Totally cool.
Yes,
He will be
absolutely.
here when he can be here, and
Yeah.
Fuzzy will also be here when he can as well. So
Awesome.
winding down, guys. Thank you so much to chat. You guys have been awesome. Thank you for all the great questions, chiming in, catching us on our rule things. I think I wanted to say there was one thing. I think game's rules said the object attacks are now actually object, range, and close actions, so you might not be able to do them with.
What the object attacks are like? I thought. I guess. Oh yeah, because they're object actions. I thought. I guess. Yeah, you won't be able to.
I can't remember what I said.
Hey, yeah, you said
You're right.
you could stop with the object and still attack because you were standing holding the object, but that would require a
Mind
specific
control.
action. Yeah.
It was mind control.
Yeah.
That's what it was. So no, you cannot mind control with the object attack, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We'll figure this out eventually, guys. We have to relearn this game, and that kind of sucks, but we'll get through it. We always adapt. We're good at that. So, all right. That is it, everyone. Thank you so much. Pedro, Brandon, want to help with the outro for me?
Easy.
Oh, it's easy, huh? All right, let's see here. All right, guys.
Yeah, hard to coordinate, but easy to help.
Okay, coordinate. I'm going to go me, Pedro, Brandon, and then back to me, okay? Always remember, guys.
You said you would start. You, me, Brandon, you.
Oh, always, I see. Always remember, and then you.
Oh, strike.
First.
And.
Strike.
Hard.
All right, good job, guys. Have a good one, everyone.
Good night, guys.